welcome to We Just Wanna, the podcast where we want to share, discuss, and find ourselves while navigating this crazy thing called life. I'm Donna.
I'm Liana.
And I'm Carol.
Woo woo!
So we're basically just three friends just doing this together, huh, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Starting in quarantine.
What a project. What a good time to start a project.
I know, right? We're just bored at home, so what else are we going to do besides talk to each other?
I mean, even then, how are you guys feeling? Both quarantine and this podcast thing.
Well, I think this is like month 2 in the Bay Area of quarantine. It feels kind of weird. The weather is getting kind of warmer, and I want to go out already. But I'm feeling pretty good, pretty blessed, and still counting my blessings. And it's a privilege to be able to be sheltering in place. And I'm glad I have you guys. So
yeah, totally agree. It is getting warmer, but that also means that we can go out sooner, hopefully, because of the whole coronavirus situation.
Crossing my fingers, yeah.
Right.
I know. Yeah, I'm hoping that the warmth will stay for a while so then we can get out sooner.
Yeah.
Even then, just like us doing this podcast, we are flattening the curve, and that's all it freaking matters. I'm doing my part, staying home, enjoying myself. Family's driving us crazy, but what can we do?
I know. I'm very grateful that we're still able to just stay at home and be with our family. It actually helps us appreciate the time that we spend with our families, because if usually we'd be out and about and not really appreciating what we can do at home. So I feel like it's been great just really seeing how shelter in place does things to people.
Mm-hmm.
No, facts.
Yeah. I mean, I love it when people get creative, though. I feel like they're amongst my friends, I can see who the bakers are, who the artists are.
That's me. Making my banana bread.
I love it. And so it's really, really interesting to see what people are doing with their time. So
yeah.
I got a funny story. So my siblings, I have 4 siblings, and then 2 of us were born in the 90s, and then my 2 youngest are born in the 2000s. And I was watching the show, and they're like, okay, make a phone gesture. And me and my sister, we both went like this, right? Like this. But my 2 siblings, they dead ass was holding their phones like this. Like this.
Oh my gosh.
I was like, what is that?
Oh my God.
I did not realize we are different in age. This quarantine made me realize how freaking old I am, because they're rewatching shows that I watched, for the first time, and then them doing TikToks, because TikToks is freaking in this quarantine season, and I can't move like that. Ooh, Dougie, I'm down. I can do that, but you asked me to do that shit like this.
Or
I cannot. No. Oh yeah, Superman down. But no, this quarantine made me realize that I am not as cool as I thought I am compared to my siblings, for sure.
Oh, come on, Donna.
I feel like you can still do those things, Donna. That's just
no, for sure. Facts. No, I'll take
TikTok
it in.
is still your generation kind of stuff, or what you would do.
Yeah.
Because if you're thinking about TikTok dances, that's something you would do on the normal.
No, yeah, find me in the club. You'll see me doing a TikTok. If I hear Savage at the club, you're gonna see me.
Yeah,
all that.
You're being influenced by your younger siblings for sure.
Yeah, that's why the next time I go out in the club, you're gonna see me all these TikTok dances, because my siblings they got me down. They got me down.
So how many TikTok dances do you know now?
I know one.
I mean, the easy
by heart.
I know. I don't toot my own horn, but I know a pretty good amount. No fingers. And the craziest thing is, I don't have a TikTok account. My siblings, they legit go downstairs. They go, Donna, learn this dance with me, and I'm like, I cannot, but I'll do it. I got represent all the old people TikToking. Even though I'm not that old, I'm youngest out of all of them.
Yeah.
But still, moves are down.
Okay. Yeah, it's so easy to watch TikTok dances on Instagram. Like you don't even need to download TikTok. Everything's just posted on Instagram. So you're just
Mm-hmm.
like you can learn everything on there without even like actually having a TikTok account.
Yeah, but no, I caved in. I'm like the other day I stayed up to like 2 a.m. just on TikTok. It's so much fun and like people are just I don't know. I know the one that's like crisscross your chest and then like put it up and then just
Oh,
Da, 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 da.
yeah, that's
okay.
all I know. I tried to learn Savage, but like your girl was struggling a little bit, but yeah.
No, Liana sends me TikTok videos like midnight to 2 a.m. and she expects me to react to them. I'm like, I have work. I need to go to sleep. And then she'll ask for my response for them. But they're so
Oh my
like,
gosh.
people are so relatable. It's like crazy. Like
Yes.
everything you can think of, you think you're so creative, but bam, someone already thought of it. Like, wow,
Yep.
they
Yep.
out
What's your
here.
favorite challenge on TikTok right now? It doesn't have to be a dance, but it could just be like, I tried kissing my best friend or
Oh
something like that. Because I've
God.
seen those challenges. And I'm
Yeah,
just
I
like,
saw those.
what? I don't really get the point of those, but I guess.
I don't know.
No,
I'm
my favorite one is the one with the Blink 182 song where they go, na 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 na, and then it goes, I'm just a kid, and like they're reacting
Oh
their like
yeah.
family photos. I love that.
Oh,
Those
I
are
think
cute. Those are my favorite.
I think my favorite is the ones where it's like there's like little puppies and then like all of a sudden you hear like you should make it and it's like a big ass dog like fighting with another little dog. It's like so funny because they're like so tiny and then all of a sudden they're like this big hound of a dog and it's just like it's so funny.
yeah,
I don't
my
know. I
What
favorite
about you,
love
so far.
Liana?
puppy TikToks.
Yeah. My favorite so far is like somebody come get her.
She's dancing like
Like
a stripper.
It's like a cat or something. I'm like, yes.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
Carol, you need to tell your story though. What happened in
Oh,
quarantine?
we're gonna go with me first.
Yes,
um,
because
That
wow,
shit is
what
crazy.
no, what a normal
um,
Monday.
yeah, it's been definitely a crazy quarantine for myself. Like, definitely didn't expect it. Um, but you know, a month into quarantine, mid-April, I was working normal work day on a Monday. Mondays are usually my busiest day at work too, so it was just like back to back meetings. Um, and I was in a meeting and I had like this migraine come over me from like the front of my head to the back, and it was like kind of like a slow migraine. I was just like, this is very weird. Like I've never had a migraine like this before, and so that day I didn't really eat that much. I had like a breakfast smoothie because it was like 10, 11 in the morning. And then so that's then I started throwing up and it was just like a headache, throwing up wasn't really like a good combination because just it's the
Never
pressure
a good
that is going on
combination.
in your head. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just really bad. And luckily, like my roommates also worked from home. So when they heard me throwing up, they came and checked up on me. And then, yeah, it was just like not a normal thing to see. And so luckily they took me to Kaiser in Homestead. And then they did a CT scan and an MRI, and they found out that I have what's called a arteriovenous malformation, AVM for short. And it's basically some tangled blood vessels in my head that I was born with, and nothing really happened, in my 6 years life until this time where I had some bleeding in my brain. And so they confirmed it with the CT and MRI, and I was admitted to the hospital. And I took an ambulance to Redwood City because that's where the neurology department was, and I was there for a week and a half. Um, I was admitted on a Monday, April 13th to be exact. And then I went into surgery on that following Wednesday, 2 days later. And they basically helped stop the bleeding and they put this like brain drainage in my head to kind of help with the excess brain fluid that was in my brain to help with the bleeding. And so fortunately they stopped the bleeding, and I was just in recovery for that week. I got discharged last Thursday, and they took out the brainage, obviously. But because of the brain drainage, now like the front part of my head is shaven. And that's why I have this headband, because I'm insecure about it.
You're rocking it,
But
though.
For
thank
real.
you.
Loving,
This is from my
loving.
roommate, Kristen.
Shout out,
So
Kristen. Hello, girl.
thanks, Kristen. But yeah, like luckily the AVM is on the right side of my head. So because I am right-handed, I use the left side of my head or my brain. So fortunately, like my talking ability, my motor abilities has not really changed. And I'm very, very lucky about that, because a lot of times, depending on where the AVM is, you could either be paralyzed or be unable to talk or just brain dead. And for me, because of where this AVM is on the right side of my brain, I'm able to still talk and do this podcast with you guys.
So who made the call to go to the hospital?
Yeah.
It was my roommate Laura. She helped me call Kaiser. She didn't even have any of the information that, like my medical record number, all that stuff.
Yeah.
She just kind of called and said, my roommate has like a headache and is throwing up, blah blah blah. And
But you were like, you didn't have plans to go to the hospital?
I honestly didn't even think about it. Honestly, like that whole day or week was a blur to me. I was very loopy from the drugs. I was very loopy from the whole entire process. So I had to like recall a lot of the things that I was saying, or that was happening with my roommates, with my mom. She said like I called her when I just got out surgery. So I was also very loopy when I was talking with her. So that part of the hospital stay was very loopy to me. It didn't really click to me that like what I was going through until probably like the beginning of the second week that I was in the hospital, because I was also getting CT scans every day at 5 a.m. I was taking pain pills like every 6 hours. I was on like Tylenol. I was on like some narcotics. I was also like not, feeling well in certain areas. So that whole process was just like a blur to me. So it was just like really crazy to go through that. And even being in the hospital by myself because of the whole COVID-19 situation and how visitors are not able to like be with the patients. So being there on my own was kind of scary. But at the same time, I was calling my parents every day, just making sure that they were up to date. Even if I was loopy, I was still calling them because I wanted them to know I was okay, because I know they were worried not being there with me. But the nurses, took care of me to the best of their abilities. But, a mother's love is always the best. So once I got discharged, like my
Yes,
mom took care of me
yes,
really good.
yes.
And it was just like, it was good being at home and actually getting rest, because
Yeah.
I was being woken up like every couple of hours just to do like a test or take my pain meds. So that was like really crazy. And I'm just very fortunate that I'm able to do everything here. So yeah, I mean, right now I'm still on Tylenol just to help with the headaches and stuff, and body pains, but every day gets better. And every day I try to just remind myself that I'm very fortunate to be in this position where I can still, talk and walk and do everything the same way. So I'm very
I mean, for people who
grateful.
don't know Carol, you guys can like label her certified badass just for handling all of this in like in
I'm
a
I don't
span of
even
you're like
weeks.
a
answer.
You can
badass.
You can put that on your resume, like all their
Yep.
accomplishments in the bottom, certified badass. Like
Oh my
that is
gosh.
crazy.
It's insane.
And especially just to do it, especially just to do it alone, during this COVID
Yeah.
shelter in place thing, just kind of going through it. And shout out to your roommate, shout out to your mom, Mama Yan,
Mhm.
always
My
taking care of
roommate
you.
saved my life, basically, Kristen.
No, yeah.
Laura, like if they didn't make that call, I would have stayed at home and been like, oh, let me just sleep it off, because it's like a
Yeah, no, I think all of us would do
headache.
that. Like just
Yeah.
just
Like,
sleep
take
it.
some ibuprofen and then like go to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would have done that, because like I actually get headaches pretty often, but not in this way. This was like a different headache.
But
This was,
honestly,
like-
PSA though, like every time a migraine is combined with vomiting, that's such a red flag. Like go to the
Yeah.
hospital. That's never a good
I thought I was
combo.
vomiting because I had a breakfast smoothie, guys. Like,
Oh my god.
even though I've had breakfast smoothies before, I was just like, yeah, this is all I'm throwing up. So like maybe that's why I'm throwing up. But
yeah.
I definitely agree. And I'm glad my roommates made that call for me, because I would have just been like, let me just sleep it off. Like I just need to like sleep.
Yeah.
So it was definitely really crazy. But like I said, I'm very fortunate that I can still talk and walk normally to this day, and that this ABM is where I can just get it removed entirely. So that's my next surgery in June, is to get it removed entirely so this doesn't happen again. It's not blood vessels that I need to survive. So that's why the doctors are just like, yeah, let's just remove it entirely so we don't have to deal with this again. So yeah, so June is going to be a crazy month too, just because
Summer
it's another
2020 for you.
recovery. I know, right? And I'm a Leo, so my birthday's coming up very soon in August. So I'm hopefully by July, when I'm like all ready to go back to work, then I'm just like getting ready for my birthday, and I'm gonna definitely celebrate life, because I'm
Yes.
very grateful for life right now.
Well, we're happy to
Yeah.
have you here for sure. I remember like
sure.
me and Donna, when we first heard about it, we're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And like oh,
we took the news in a very like we woke up to the news with
we
you.
were
We're like,
literally
what?
at 7 a.m.
Yeah.
Oh.
I remember texting my roommate Laura like, hey, can you tell my grand and my great grand what happened, because I can't do it myself. And she was like, yeah, and then that's how you guys know. So
Okay, but I'm a jokester, because when she told us like, oh, Carol's fine, she's waking up, and I was like, I'm glad she's doing better, like not knowing like what
You
the
have
hell
no
was
idea
going
what
on.
she was
going
talking
on.
about.
No, but it like anything, I'm glad she's getting better. Whatever she was going through, I'm glad. I'm genuinely
What
glad
was she
was
going
getting
through?
better.
Wait,
Exactly.
how did she say it to you
Details.
guys? I don't even know how she said it to you guys.
She was like, "Oh, Carol's doing fine now,"
Yeah.
And then I just replied, "I'm glad."
Like 2 seconds later, and then I had to text Donna. I was like, what happened to Carol? What is she like going through? And Donna's like, I have no idea. I'm like, what the fuck?
Oh,
But I
she didn't
still
explain.
genuinely wished you like better health. That's like I was appreciative that you were okay, and I don't care what
Wait,
happened.
so
I'm
how
glad
did
you're
you
okay.
find out what it actually was? Was it from
I had
like,
to
the Instagram post?
ask.
Oh, okay.
I had to ask. I'd be like, wait,
Leo-
what? Did I miss a text? What happened?
Leon wrote, "Does she have COVID?" And I'm like, do you ask that? Like, is that appropriate to ask? Like, we're just throwing the question out there now. But
That was my
No,
best guess.
okay.
Yeah.
I think I should have explained it to Laura better, that you guys didn't know.
no, she did the haha, my bad, didn't explain anything. We were like, no, it's totally fine. Fine and
Okay.
then not fine at the same time.
Yeah, low key just freaking out so much.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
No,
Carol.
like-
I was crying. I
No,
was
real
about to cry
shout
for
out,
her.
real shout out to my roommate Laura, because she helped me communicate to all the people I needed to know. Like my mom, she communicated to her, my manager, like all the right people, because I was like, yeah, I can't do it myself. Can you help
Yeah.
me? So real big shout out to her for sure.
Laura is a real one.
For real.
Yep. And so is Kristen, because she got me this headband and she gave me so many goodies and stuff. I'm just like, oh my god. And she even made me a banner that says AVM thank you next.
Oh,
AVM.
The funniest thing is
cute.
that she reused the banner, or she made a birthday banner for her nephew. And then on the back she wrote AVM thank you next and gave it to me. So I have both AVM
Happy-
thank you next and then happy birthday Levi. I'm like, okay, thank you.
I mean, your birthday's in August, so change it to Carol. We saved paper. We're done.
Oh, yeah, I could technically, but yeah, I'm very appreciative of her. Kristen's a sentimental person, so like she loves making things like that.
Mm, so crazy.
All
Yep,
right.
that's a crazy story, y'all. My
Yeah,
God.
starting off with the craziest story, but not the craziest one, because you guys have crazy stories too. Not
Do I? Do it?
yeah.
It's hard to be determined what crazy is. But no, I work part-time along with my other job as an essential worker, background essential worker.
Hashtag
But
heroes.
yes, we see you. We
Heroes.
see you. No, but nothing crazy over there. It's just crazy in the most part, just watching people kind of react to this. I don't know what crazy you're talking about, Carol. Just
What you can tell us crazy stories that
Well, so
happen
so
at Costco.
tell us at Costco, yeah, like how are people?
Yeah.
Are they hoarding toilet paper? What's it like? Are they attacking
so.
you?
Oh yeah, are they attacking people for toilet paper or
Yeah.
eggs?
I don't work like in the front, so I'm just kind of like more in the back office, kind of my own kiosk desk. So I'm just kind of watching everything from behind. But when I see the people wearing those gas masks, that's where it's kind of like,
Oh my God.
like I like stare at people like, okay, I mean, okay, that's the only biggest things where I think people wearing gas masks. I know before the shelter in place kind of happened, and because I just came back from the Philippines, and then that's when kind of everything kind of came to the United States. I saw the lines like 1,000 and plus people coming inside the warehouse, and I was so confused. Even that, because like when I was in the Philippines, we used the tabo, which is like a bucket. So
Yeah.
all that, and even growing up right now, but I have the tabo in my bathroom right now. So like having like so many people buy toilet paper was like really weird. But I think like even then I was kind of experiencing like racism lightweight. One of the craziest thing is I remember I was like, oh my gosh, why is rice, being sold out so fast? And then some guy was like, well, do you know where rice is made? And I'm like, my rice is made in California. Where's your rice made? What are you implying? Just because I'm Asian, I eat rice, yes, but it doesn't mean my rice is freaking imported from like Asia. It's legit made in the U.S. It says it on my box, Jasmine Homai California rice. It's like right there. Like you putting all this like, just
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, for me,
Okay.
I guess I can share my side of the story.
Yeah.
Quarantine has not been as crazy as yours, Carol, but it just made me realize how freaking interconnected we all are. So I work for
Mhm.
S.I.P Academy for Engineering, so we kind of welcome engineers from all over the place to Silicon Valley. So then we had to send them home after the pandemic hit. And so I would follow them on like Instagram, and they come from like India, Brazil, China, Canada. And then I also have family in Malaysia and Vietnam. Like they're literally going through the same thing as us.
Yeah.
They're all on lockdown, and like they're, some governments are caring about it and some governments are not. And it's just, it's insane. Like, I kind of tend to think about sometimes we're stuck in a bubble, like, oh, it'll never reach our shores. But I remember like 2 months ago or 3 months ago, we kind of took it as a joke. And
That's
now
true.
it's like
Mhm.
nobody has been through this before. And it's unprecedented. I know that's where it's kind of like a buzzword, but it really is. Like nobody has gone through this before, and to kind of go through it together, it's profound in a way. And also, like, of course, like my heart just breaks, and but I don't know, it's such a weird time, and I don't know what the right way to handle it is. But it gives me some sense of comfort that halfway across the world, my family in Malaysia, like they're, they can't go out for groceries either.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's insane. I don't know.
Yeah, who would have thought that it would like reach all the way here in the US? Because I remember like a couple months ago when I was still planning to go to Taiwan, I was like, oh, it's not gonna reach us, or it's not that bad. Like we'll just like wear face masks and like still do our own thing. And so
Yeah.
technically Taiwan is a lot more contained right now when it comes to coronavirus. Like they have way less cases compared to us. But like because the US has way more cases, it's kind of like I shouldn't be the one going to Taiwan, because what if I bring something over, like not saying that I have coronavirus, but like because they're so much more contained, they would fear someone from the US going to Taiwan. And so like I remember like at that time before it reached the US a lot worse, I was like, yeah, I'll just wear a face mask and still go. But then now I'm just like, I'm glad I didn't go because of my situation, but also because like I want to make sure that I protect my family that is in Taiwan. And like my grandparents are like in their 70s and 80s, and like if I brought something over and I didn't even know that I brought something over, then that would have broken my heart. So I'm kind of glad that we kind of stayed put for now. And like the whole like people traveling and whatnot, like we can travel when things get better. So it's like not in a rush to do anything like that right now. And I think the first priority should always be people's health. And I'm glad I like decided not to go because of many reasons, but like I'm glad that I'm like not going to bring anything to my grandparents there.
Yeah. I'm so proud of
I mean,
us.
kind of.
We're so responsible.
Oh my gosh!
Shout out to our families. I mean, we kind of talked about it, kind of like segueing to the next topic. Liana, you mentioned it, and Carol, you mentioned it. Your family's from Taiwan. Carol, Liana, your family's from Malaysia and Vietnam. My family's from the Philippines. And today is the first day of May, and it happens to be Asian American Awareness Month.
It is.
I know the three of us.
I am very aware I'm Asian American.
Hey, me and Liana, we're standing in a different boat. Literally, we are both foreign born, raised in America people. So, yes.
Yeah. Wait, you guys were not born here, or you guys were born here? I forgot.
I was not born here. I came here in 2005. So, California. Yeah. Here when I was
15 years. Ooh, 15 years.
Insane. But yeah, I think it's so cool how we actually have a month dedicated to our people.
I know. What do we do in this kind of month? Like, do we just
I remember
Asian food?
No, back in college, I used to attend all of those like cultural shows. So like DSA, and then Mabuhay does their own cultural night.
So yeah,
and then I know right now like 88 Rising, you know, that big Asian group, or they are having like a little concert soon, and has all the like artists from different around the world. And that's pretty dope, you know. Shout out to them.
Yeah, I kind of want to give a shout out to like maybe the women, the Asian American women that I kind of really look up to. So I know I was kind of like thinking about it. Michelle Phan, who's like the M Cosmetics CEO. She's been on like YouTube, and I watched her when I was like a teenager, and now she's like this big thing, and I love her lipsticks. And then Jeannie Mai, who's in The Real, and I like how
oh my god, I love
also
Jeannie
from
Mai.
San Jose.
I actually met Jeannie Mai.
No,
like, I think
oh my gosh,
I am who I am because of Jeannie Mai. I actually met her. So funny, at an Asian American female conference back in high school, and she was like the guest speaker, and I was mesmerized.
She's
like her whole facade, like her personality, the way she carried herself, the way how she spoke. I was like, and then the fact that she said she's from San Jose, and I was like, specifically she's from the Millie, but even that, like, she how the way she carried herself, and she didn't use
Yeah.
what she had as as a negative thing. She used it more as a positive thing. And I was like, no, I stand in. I love the real. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, I love the real. I love watching them, and like I think all the women, even though the other women are not Asian American, like they have a lot of great input,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I love like how they bring different perspectives into the show, and like whenever they have like not really debates, but when they're talking about topics passionately, like I love that they have so much to say and have so much to bring to the table.
Yeah, for sure.
Facts. How about you, Carol? Do you have any Asian American people you would like to do a little shout out for?
I honestly don't have anyone in mind. I do follow a lot of Asian Americans, but I don't really have anyone that I look up to in a way.
No worries.
Jeannie Mai is definitely someone that I follow and really look up to. So sorry to also jack that, but like, yeah, I'm very proud of a lot of the Asian Americans that like really stand up to I wouldn't say the movement, but like just being proud of being Asian American.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do follow a lot of them, but
Yeah.
no one
It
I
doesn't
can
have to be, I was
shout out.
thinking about it too. I was like, it doesn't have to be somebody that's well known for us to look up to. I mean, I was thinking
Mhm.
about my parents, for them to kind of
Yeah.
come here for a better life, but still kind of keep our culture intact, but
Mhm.
still flexible enough to embrace the American side of things.
Yeah.
So
I definitely feel like growing up, or at least when I was younger, especially like my parents forcing me into Chinese school or learning Chinese as like a second
Mhm.
language, like I never really appreciated that until I got older.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because when you're younger, you kind of feel like it's a chore or like something like because all your friends spoke English, so it's like, oh, the main language is to speak English. You don't really think about
Yeah.
learning your own or your own language or the language that you've grown up with. And so like when I was younger and going through Chinese school, I didn't really like appreciate that, but now I'm kind of like, oh, I wish I can speak Chinese better, or like I would try to speak Chinese to my parents as much as possible, but it kind of turns into Chinglish because I suck at Chinese now, but I still want to speak Chinese. So I would speak Chinese in the words that I still remember, but then like translate into Chinglish, and like it kind of helps my parents learn English in a way too when I'm speaking to them in English and they respond in Chinese. So we're kind of like practicing both languages at the same time, which is
Mhm.
great. But yeah, I wish I spoke Chinese a lot better because then I would be able to communicate with my grandparents better. And then like when I was younger, I watched Chinese or Taiwanese drama series just to like learn Chinese,
Yeah.
and now I don't watch them, so like it's my Chinese definitely got worse. But overall, I just think that like as we get older, like we should definitely really embrace our own like Asianness, I guess,
Yeah,
in
it's
a
Mhm.
way,
really
because
our
like
strength. Uh-huh.
yeah, exactly, that's what kind of makes us stand out in this melting pot of the US. So I'm really like I like that. So
Ugh, our food, y'all. Our food.
No, food, hands
I know
down.
everything I love
Hands
eating is like Chinese,
hands down.
Asian food, Korean food, Japanese food, Chinese food. Like
Thai
that's all I
food,
crave
Malaysian
now.
food.
I've been eating
Yeah,
the
I
last thing I
know.
remember eating before quarantine or before shelter in place happened was I was eating a lot of Indian food. And
Oh,
oh my god,
Oh,
loved it.
I'm actually
Loved.
not a big fan of Indian food, not because of Indian food itself, but just because it's so many spices and I can't eat
oh, give
spicy
me
that
all
well.
the spice. I need it. I love it.
Yeah, but I love Korean food. I love Japanese food. Like I'm always craving those. I'm craving Korean barbecue.
I
Like
know.
I miss
We
it
are
so
actually
much.
cooking that downstairs at my house right now. So once this podcast is over, I'm running straight downstairs because my
Okay,
family is
jealous.
barbecuing without me, and
Whatever,
I'd rather do this.
daughter.
I'd rather do this podcast with you guys
Oh,
for the
Okay.
Korean barbecue than eat my Korean barbecue. But
Yeah, you can always
shout
eat
out.
up the Korean barbecue anyways. You can't heat up
Yes.
this podcast. Just kidding.
Ooh, no.
Just kidding. But yeah, I'm really, really happy that we're doing this podcast because like you guys are one of my best friends and we have great conversations and we always like talk about everything. And I think like we never really lose or we never really like have awkward silences in a way where like we have to think about stuff to talk about. Like I think we
Yeah.
carry conversations with each other really well because we just have so much to talk about with each other. So I'm really happy that we're doing this.
I know, I'm really happy too. And I'm hoping that like for our listeners out there, like some way, somehow it resonates with you, and hopefully we can like hear from you guys, come up with topics that you guys want to hear about. We really do want to make it interactive and maybe have some more guest speakers.
Yeah.
But it's such
Like,
So
we're
even then, just kind of go ahead.
Oh, go
Go
ahead.
ahead. Sorry. I was about to say, like, we're here not only just to talk about what we know, but also to learn about like different topics that we may not know a lot about.
Mhm.
So not just like guest speakers coming on to bring their perspective, but also to maybe we can even do our own research about a certain topic and we can just learn from each other as well.
Yeah.
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 I mean, our title is we just want to collaborate. We just want to talk. We want to share anything from lifestyle, relationships, pop culture, just about anything and everything. I think we have enough ground from either our friends, our colleagues, family, and even ourselves just to kind of branch out there, use this platform. Podcasts are in now, and I'm glad I'm doing it. I've always wanted to be a person who
I have so many
put my
friends
voice
doing
out there.
podcasts now.
Hey, man, jump in the hype.
Just kidding.
We love
It's not the hype. It's just because like we just have so much to talk about. I don't
Yes.
know.
even then.
But-
So once
or so
people
much to
start going
learn.
work, yeah,
Mhm.
definitely. Even when shelter in place is over and we have our long drives back on the 101 to our corporate lives, hopefully people are listening to our podcast. Oh,
Yeah.
the wish.
Oh gosh. So what's next, guys? What are we gonna talk about next time? Next episode.
Next episode.
So, should I say it since I'm the one? I just thought that, you know, the reason why we all met, or I guess all became friends, is because of this little bit fraternity we call Delta Sigma Pi. I think we all had different reasons of joining Delta Sigma Pi, and we definitely had different experiences, aka Donna being two exact level positions, which I'm like it's still crazy that you did it, but just like things like that. We have our own different experiences when it came to joining Delta Sigma Pi or even being involved in it. So I think that's something we can definitely touch upon on in the next episode and see like what we feel about it. And
Yeah. That sounds like
So
fun.
that's-
I also want to talk about dating because your girl is struggling a little bit in this quarantine. So
Ooh,
I really can't wait
facts.
for that.
Single. Just
I
kidding.
think
We're
all
not allowed
three
to
of
be
us are single.
looking.
we're all
Yeah.
we are single. Yeah. Not really ready to mingle, but we can talk about it.
Are you? I'm old school. I do not know how to text or snap or Instagram people correctly. Like you guys text me and you guys know I'm the driest texter. Right? No, would you
I
guys
have
agree?
to ask you for a response for my TikToks.
Yeah, see, like, but catch me on a call like this. Catch me in real life. Ooh, fun time. I'm just kidding. I'm not putting myself out there. My parents might be listening. No, I'm down to talk about all those topics. Those are good topics to go for our next episode.
Yes. All right.
Yeah. We have so many more episodes to come, so we'll talk all day long.
I totally forgot. There was one thing we discussed in our meeting prior to our podcast was the random fact that we wanted to kind of share. Do you guys have one?
I have a random fact, but it's
spit.
it's very gross. So yesterday I attended Academy of Science virtual hangout with some of my friends, and we learned about spider sex. And So what I've learned, my useless trivia fact is that when spiders mate, the male spider would leave the sperm for a female spider to basically choose to either pocket the sperm and inseminate herself or leave it all together. I find
Let me
that
tell you
so
guys,
crazy.
no, spiders are the most badass insect are there out there. I saw this. I'm trying to show you guys, but there was this spider trying to kill a fly the other day
Oh
at
my
my
God.
house. Like he
It's
was
like-
That's crazy.
He was dominating.
Oh
Ooh,
my god!
I was like, "Go spider, go spider, go!" I want to
I
be a
just find that
spider.
so amazing that female spiders can choose to inseminate themselves
Yes.
Yeah, I
with
I honestly,
male
I do
spider
think
sperm.
this is a girl spider because she was making eggs the other day too.
Okay,
so.
that's so weird.
Let me tell you,
but-
females, insects are human. We out here dominating. It's gonna be May.
We're just
you know what
killing
I'm
it out there. Pun intended.
saying?
But yeah, that's my useless trivia that I learned yesterday. It was actually really crazy. Like I was laughing the entire time because of like how serious the person was talking about spider sex and mating calls and stuff that
Oh my
spiders do.
gosh!
And you found us through the California Academy of
This
Sciences.
is the Academy of Science like virtual hangout.
Okay, I'm gonna check that
Yeah,
out.
in
Learn more
San
about them
Francisco.
spiders.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Cool.
Anyways, so we'll end it with a useless trivia.
Perfect. All
Yay.
right.
We'll see y'all next time.
Time.
Peace.
Podcast people, we out here. Bye.